Hey guys, so you ready for today's August 21st, 2020, 3:13 a.m. Central Time. Side note for my elite patriots on Patreon, I am attempting to look up articles and or government documents in order to support what I'm attempting to go over regarding my Iran video, which is why that video has yet to go up. Deceiving Democrat Convention is the nicest way of saying something like fucking bullshit Democrat Convention. It's gotten to the point in this country where everybody, yet nobody, knows about politics. And it's very disturbing. Being a Republican or a conservative, whatever you'd like to call it, I'm a conservative constitutionalist, which is very difficult to be, actually, because you end up on fighting for certain things that you don't necessarily agree with because it's constitutional. So not too many people can actually be one. But beside the point, we generally deal in facts, which are boring, okay? Which is why my channel has never caught on. Even my old channel, when I had 10,000 subscribers, it took me years to get that. So it's more conspiracy theories and lies that sound very intriguing to spin are much, much more entertaining to people because they just can go on and on about it over and over and slam it into people's faces and yet have not to worry about any facts trying to back up anything they're saying. So it's annoying. Basically, everything the Democrats set out to do in this convention, they achieved, which was to take everything they've been saying since Donald Trump got into office and reiterate it, and take the policies that even started under Obama, just like the kids in cages, and reiterate it, just like they did when he was doing it in the beginning of his administration, that it was his fault, okay? Same thing, Biden's speech, okay? Conflicting reviews, I guess you can say. I've been talking to people on Twitter. Everybody who's a liberal can't back it up. They just say it's a great speech, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, give me a fact, you know? What was so great about it? And some jackass was just like, because it wasn't Trump. Well, congratulations. You are brilliant. So debating online is absolutely absurd and almost a waste of time, which is really disheartening because it could be very interesting and this country would be completely different. Instead, people put up GIFs, pictures, any type of bullshit, and a straight opinion response with that, and then tweet it to you. And that's their defense, offense, depending on what you're talking about. And they have absolutely nothing to say after it. And if they do, there's another GIF or picture attached to it. It's kind of obnoxious how stupid our society has become. And social media has a great deal to have helped with that, okay? It's painful. Absolutely painful. This generation coming up, my generation, millennials, and then whatever the hell's behind me, Z or something, are going to be severely warped if they don't start thinking for themselves, questioning things, I don't know, researching, looking at something other than a video, a tweet, or a post is going to be very difficult in the coming years. And that's really says where our society is going. But the Democrats, like I said, accomplished what they wanted to do. They mind-fucked everybody who watched the Democrat convention. They were so partisan that I cannot imagine any independent at all or anti-Trump Republican wanting to jump on that fucking train. I really can't. But there is a severe possibility that Donald Trump could absolutely lose in November, and it won't have anything to do with election fraud or any of that shit. I went over a little bit of why or how it could happen on my Patreon account, and a lot of it has to do with the Electoral College and how the states are currently made up since 2016. A lot of things have shifted and altered and all that shit. So it's very possible he could lose just because of that. Period. And it could be very difficult for another Republican in general, actually, to get into office. based on what is happening to certain states in this country. Period. So, Biden's speech, right, was honestly, it was awful. A lot of people think it was good. There was somebody that was on Twitter that I'm subscribed to that I really like, and he I'm assuming it's a he, comments on certain things, retweets stuff, and it's fun. But he did say it was a really good speech. And I went back and forth with him. We had a conversation. We didn't yell at each other. We actually spoke. That's how things are supposed to go in this country and never do. And a reason for that is because they're another Republican, have a brain, and actually have an opinion that they can back up with facts. Okay? Rare on the liberal side. So we went back and forth. But the thing about Biden's speech, I guess if you think it's a great speech, and basically why he said it was a great speech is because Biden pulled off what he needed to do, which basically was not to drool in a cup, okay? That he was able to come off as coherent and whatnot, okay? Because the Trump administration and the campaign, I should say, has been pushing that Biden is senile and all these claims, which the claims have some half-assed truth to them, but Biden has severely changed. There's one thing I can say about Trump is he has aged well, meaning if you go back 5, 6, 10 years, there really isn't much change to him regarding how he speaks, how he carries himself, energy level, all that shit. Biden has severely changed since 2008 when he became vice president. He is much more frail. He walks like an old man. He talks like an old man. He stumbles like an old man. He says stupid shit backwards like an old man. Calls himself he called himself his own wife or something the other day at the Democrat convention. So it's like he needs to just bounce out. And the only reason that he's even in this is because the DNC handpicked his ass in South Carolina. They needed a candidate that was attached to Barack Obama. Period. That's exactly what they did. So they brought out Clyburn, the jackass Democrat from South Carolina that is highly respected in the black community and is a total asshole, by the way. Total asshole. I hate that guy. He always accuses people of being racist when he is one of the most racist motherfuckers out there. He came out for Biden and all of a sudden, poof, Biden is now the Democrats' nominee for president. And I think that's actually crazy that happened. But whatever. Because that's the thing. The Democrats have warped everyone's minds of the truth. Not just, their entire party is retardedly retardedly because of what they're doing. And then there's people that are just not aware of what's going on, watched the Democrat convention and walked away from it depressed. How could you not walk away from the Democrats convention not depressed? It was gloomy. It was harsh. It was extremely critical. I still don't know, but I do know because I read his vision and I know what the Democrats stand for. But I still barely know what their platform is. I do not know why to vote for Biden other than he's a kind, listening, sympathetic dumbass, okay? I have no idea why people would vote the Democrat Party at this point for president. As soon as the debates come up, depending on how Biden does, if he gets through a debate without being an idiot, I will be shocked. I truly think that if a moderator asked, for example, what do you plan on doing about doing to China regarding the coronavirus since they unleashed it on the world? And they ask Biden that, right? And Trump turns to him before he has a chance to answer and goes, "What's your favorite cookie?" I swear to God, Biden will absolutely lose track of what's going on. He would stutter. He would end up talking about a fucking chocolate chip cookie and totally ignore what the moderator said because he doesn't have the mindset that he had along 8 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. He has aged to his age. That's fine to say, okay? He is his age. Get over it. So his speech to me was very partisan. He mentioned Charlottesville and said that, Donald Trump said there were nice people on both sides, or however the hell he said it, which is totally taken out of context of what Trump actually said. And on top of it, if you really want to look at it, I think it was right to rally to right to rally, whoever it was that was there, that was that they called the KKK. They're protesting against taking down statues, had a motherfucking permit. And they were there protesting that. These idiots showed up, which were known as probably Antifa, Black Lives Matter, and a bunch of just instigators for a fight. They weren't going to demonstrate or protest against these idiots. They showed up with bats and like gas masks and backpacks and water bottles and all kinds of shit that they are using now, okay, to toss at these people. That's why there was a clash. That's exactly why someone got killed, because that was allowed to happen. The mayor told the police to stand down. Think that was coincidental, being in Charlottesville? Probably not. So that entire situation could have been 100% avoided if things had done differently, like people not shown up, okay? So, or just sat on the side of the street and yelled at this right to rally group and just cursed them out. And that's not what they did. They got into fights with them. So that's how that went down. So then he mentioned Charlottesville, right? Totally took Trump out of context. He said, what was it? He didn't say, God bless America at the end. I thought was very interesting because Biden is old school. Old school. He has always said, God bless America. Always. He said, God bless you. Okay? That is pandering to the left. Okay? He talked about, I did a tweet on it and I'm kind of losing track of the 4 things I said. He said, kneel on neck. Okay? And that was regarding describing the black community's suffering. And it had nothing to, in the context in which he was saying it, had nothing to do with police brutality or anything. It was a generic statement talking about black suffering. So I thought kneel to neck was extremely inappropriate. He had a mask mandate. Okay, that is one thing I know they stand for, that he wants to do, which is completely unconstitutional, which was completely ironic. Because everything he has said in his vision, if you watch my first video of the Biden exclusive platform videos I've been doing, that I have 3 of. If you watch the first video, I went over his COVID response bullshit that he's going to use in order to combat virus COVID. So everything in that document, everything was what Trump has already done. There's been some stuff that's a little bit twisted differently in there, but it's everything Trump has done. Trump has exceeded what Biden is claiming he would do or would have done, okay? Trump has absolutely exceeded those options, and the only difference is that he would do a mask mandate, federal mask mandate, like I said, is unconstitutional. So the one thing he absolutely had different from Trump is unconstitutional. Hilarious, priceless, idiot. So this guy, they have portrayed him as Mr. Empathy and used his family tragedies to make that point. Biden himself used those family tragedies yesterday to make that point himself. That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I cannot believe this shit is happening. Obama is unfucking believable. Talk about a piece of work, okay? This motherfucker is breaking all rules, all non-spoken, by the way, rules of a prior president going after predecessor type situations. and speaking up and lying, flat out lying, okay? Saying that he hasn't taken the position of the presidency serious, and he has chosen not to have leadership and all this stupid shit. And so those are opinions, obviously, okay? But even they lie about the facts and twist them into lies. But I mean, he is severely downing the character of Donald Trump because he's pissed. He is bent, absolutely bent, that Hillary Clinton did not get in and that his legacy is down the toilet and that Trump has been able to accomplish a ridiculous amount of stuff. I don't care how you feel about Donald Trump. I really don't. I don't give a shit. But you cannot turn your eye to the fact he has accomplished and is continuing to accomplish a ton of stuff. I'll give you some examples. He has confirmed over 200 judges, conservative judges to our court system. First president to get past 200, okay? He nominated and got confirmed 2 Supreme Court justices, okay? He passed the First Step Act, which reformed the criminal justice system a bit and gave people back the right to vote. He got passed for the, and this should have been passed decades ago. Was it the Choice Act or something? I'm tired and it's 3 a.m. I think it's called the Choice Act. It's regarding veterans being able to get health care outside the VA and have the government still pay for it because the VAs suck ass. Okay? So he got that done. He's, as much as he likes to say he built a bunch of border wall, okay? He has built some new border wall, but the most of the construction has been on updating the current border wall that was there. So he kind of twists that around a bit. But by replacing the fences, okay, with this severely upgraded technology and everything wall is a huge accomplishment, okay? Let's see, what else has he done? He has gotten us, before this whole COVID bullshit, right? I mean, he shut down China, travel to China, which was a big fucking deal. And everybody totally was against it. Biden apparently wouldn't have done it because he called him a xenophobe at the time. Pelosi was wandering around in fucking Chinatown, okay, at the time, protesting his shutdown of China. So none of those Democrats on that side, period, besides Joe Biden, would have done what Trump did in the beginning that most likely, okay, saved a lot of lives. And so them saying and putting on the deaths of people from COVID to a president or a single person is highly inappropriate to begin with. But prior to, okay, he was able to ditch so many regulations that the Obama administration had put on the economy and just the public in general, to be honest. Obama, as I followed Obama very closely, would drop, no joke, 1,500 regulations on Black Friday. I'm not kidding. He did that one time. 1,500 regulations. That is thousands of pages to attempt to read. All of those regulations were regarding environmental things. They were things for like pushing businesses to get permits that would take, instead of 2 years, would actually take a decade to do because they go through a bunch of red tape. All kinds of stuff that was stifling the economy. Obama could have had a thriving economy. He chose not to because he did a bunch of regulations that all had to do political purposes. Trump has rolled those back, which is why the economy flipped out and was so good. Why the stock market hit highs. Fucking NASDAQ right now is at its all-time high, regardless of the coronavirus. The stock market has gone back up to close to where it was before the COVID response. He got Tax Reform and Jobs Act passed, which absolutely started the economy. put money back in the pockets of middle-class Americans, regardless of what these assholes claim that the top 1% got a tax break. Kiss my ass. I am not part of the top 1%, and that fucking shit helped me. So go suck a cactus. That is absolutely not accurate. And the fact they say that over and over again is obnoxious. Obnoxious. The amount of things Trump has been able to achieve, which there's an entire more list I could probably figure out if I sat here long enough. But I was not anticipating doing this. But those are severe changes, and they are good changes for the country. Go figure. Oh, he also did, I don't know what it's called, but it's a bill that should have been passed a long time ago too, that was like for people who are on death's bed type of situation, that they can choose to do experimental drugs and stuff like that, that they couldn't have done in the past. And so that bill like ditched red tape and liabilities and stuff. So those people can actually attempt to live now instead of not be qualified for something. So that's something he passed that nobody talks about whatsoever. He has done executive orders that are very good. The Muslim ban that people like to call, which is the travel ban. I will say this. The first executive order was absolutely ridiculously stupid to have written. It was totally unconstitutional. The second I read it, I was like, shit, he is fucked. It was completely unconstitutional. It was written poorly. I don't know what lawyer in the Justice Department approved that, but he hopefully got canned, okay? So yes, it was very easy to get a TRO on that, or an injunction on that, and get it stopped very easily. So then they went back and rewrote it the way it was supposed to be written. And guess what? Guess what about that travel ban? Obama had the exact same travel ban since 2009 or 10. The only difference between Obama's travel ban and Trump's, Trump added like 2 or 3 countries. Period. That's it. Okay? And then did some other requirements for people coming in to figure out who the fuck they are that the Obama administration failed to do. In fact, Obama administration actually took a bunch of refugees, okay, from all these countries that they banned, by the way, took a bunch of refugees and would drop them into cities. If you remember those lawsuits about the states saying, hey, you asshole, you cannot just drop a bunch of fucking refugees in my city or my state and expect me to deal with this. They took that to court, and they actually won on that because it has to do with the state's economy. It has nothing to do with being anti-immigration, okay? These people will suck off the system in the states. They have no place to live, no jobs. They're not contributing to the economy right away. Nothing is good about taking a bunch of refugees whom you cannot actually verify who the fuck they are to begin with and drop them in a state, which is why some of these states won. That happened under Obama. There's a million motherfucking things I could say negative about the Obama administration. So for his dumb ass to come out and talk shit about Trump is so fucking priceless that guy needs to shut his mouth. If people actually knew and understood that the shit the Democrats are peddling is literally a lie, a direct lie. It's not even opinion. It is a direct, absolute, intentional lie to deceive you into thinking that this administration is something that it's not. Everyone should be pissed. Everyone should be fucking livid that a party is doing that. And then look at the mainstream media. They loved the Democrat convention. Loved it. Well, of course they fucking loved it. They're pushing the same shit the Democrat convention did. This country is so broken regarding politics, intelligence, and everything. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And the amount of of politics and shit that I am in and interested in and watch and read and all that shit that has nothing to do with mainstream media or anything. I watch interviews, I watch the House floor, I watch hearings, all this stupid shit because I absolutely have apparently a mental health problem, political problem, okay, that I have developed that was originally a fucking hobby. So I am really well versed, way more than anyone on the fucking planet probably, than I should be. So I don't expect everyone in the country to be like me because, like I said, I probably have an OCD type problem regarding politics. So I don't expect that. But I do expect people to know the minimum facts, just like the kids in cages. That when all that stuff started and Trump got into office and just continued the policy that Obama had, he had not even altered it. Hadn't even altered it, okay? Didn't build anything. He just continued the policy that Obama had in place, and they said, oh, he's locking up kids in cages. That photo that circulated the internet was from the Obama administration in 13 or 14. It was not even a recent fucking photo. These people couldn't even drag their ass to the goddamn border that currently had, quote, kids in cages, which were actually family units in cages that Obama built. They couldn't even drag their ass down there to get a current photo to attempt to continue their deception. They couldn't even do that. Instead, they put out a photo that happened during the Obama administration in order to prove a point and hoped that everybody's so dumb and ignorant that they'd never fucking figure it out. I am so disappointed and scared almost of the Democrat Party on what they have done and are doing to this country, to the people in it that know nothing about politics, that are tuning into this and getting direct, deceptive, intentional lies. Period. Because they don't like this president. I cannot understand the absolute hatred that they have, that anyone has, public or otherwise, towards President Trump. You may not like how he acts, what he says, his Twitter feed, all that stupid shit. If you take all that away, he literally, and he's also doing opportunity zones that he worked with Tim Scott, the black senator that is in the Senate from South Carolina, I believe, or North Carolina, one of the Carolinas, that he worked with that are in black neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods, giving people opportunities to get jobs and everything else, and has been very successful. He could have ignored Tim Scott and told him to go fuck himself, but no, he had that black senator come in his office and say, hey, ears are all open. What do you got to say? And he listened to him and helped him implement that stuff. Okay? If he was such a fucking racist, he wouldn't give a goddamn about the justice system. He wouldn't give a goddamn about opportunity zones. He wouldn't have given a goddamn about putting out that executive order that changed how the police reform situation that was going on recently, that he did those executive orders that basically created the goddamn program that was like a background check type of program for the police department so that corrupt police couldn't go from one fucking place to another fucking place and keep hopping around when they're a corrupt police officer. Trump does everything totally different than what is being portrayed, and it makes me fucking sick. This is Are You Ready For It? Take care, guys. Have a great night.